Hi, Shion Steve here of KMMA and Meditations on Mastery. Those of you that are students here or follow my stuff may have realized that earlier this week I was bragging on my oldest son Harley and my middle son Diego, and talking about their lifetime in the martial arts here, and specifically I was bragging up a little bit on the fact that they're both straight A students. And it's awesome because they have always been amazing students. They've always been amazing martial arts students at every phase as they grew up here, because they were the original Tiny Tigers, and then Little Dragons, and KMA kids, and juniors, and then teens, and of course now they're in the adult black belt class. And they've also been awesome academic students their entire lives. They were gifted. And it is a blessing. It's a blessing that they're gifted. It's a blessing to have kids like that. It's a blessing to have students like that and to work with them. And then yesterday, something really cool happened. My youngest son, Winston, came and showed me his report card. And he got A's and B's this time. And we were sitting there talking, and I usually give Diego a $50 reward for his straight A's when he makes his straight A's. And Winston and I had talked about that if he could get his grades up and right this year, that what he wanted was sneaker heat. He wanted me to buy him some sneakers, but I was aware that that's going to cost even more, what Diego's always done. And I was like, and the question was, I didn't want Diego to feel slighted that he's always had the straight A's, and that I would make such a big deal for Winston coming and getting the A's and B's this time. But I asked him, and Diego said, Dad, he goes, honestly, it's the first time in his whole life that he's done that well in the grades. He's worked really hard, and I think he deserves. I think you should do it for him. And man, that moved my heart. I was so proud on more levels than one. I was not only proud of Winston, who honestly has taken himself from academic trouble to what is really acceptable grades, A's and B's. And by the way, Winston's just got an awesome personality. He's going to be a great entrepreneur one day, a great teacher. But I was so proud of Diego, too, for recognizing that and for giving me the okay to go ahead and reward his brother. But it made me, the meditation today, is that's how I feel with so many of my students over these last 17 years. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Tomorrow is actually our 17-year anniversary. Over these last 17 years, where we were first Daimyo Martial Arts, and then we were Premier Martial Arts, and then Krav Maga Martial Arts. Over these years, I've seen many, many awesome young people come in here and become great black belts. The interesting thing is that some of them were gifted. Some of them, a lot of it came easily. And in fact, by the way, of a lot of those gifted ones, some of them made it all the way to black belt, and some of them quit. And the same is true of the ones that were not so gifted. But I got to tell you, what's really, really awesome as well, because of course I think it's awesome when any of my students makes it to black belt. But what's awesome is when you get this little boy, this little girl that the world or in the natural wouldn't believe they could do it. Whether it's a mental thing or a physical thing or a social thing or a confidence thing. And you would look out, or even a behavior thing, and you would look out on the mat and say, in fact, to be honest, in many, many schools and in kind of the more traditional way of upbringing, they wouldn't make it. But I take great pride in the fact that many of those have become really good black belts. And I think that it's a blessing and an honor to be able to help not just those champions that came in become champions, but also to help those that maybe didn't yet appear. Sometimes I look in a young child's self, in his heart, at the child, and I can see the child not as they are, but as they will one day be. I think maybe God looks at us that way too. And I think today's message is number one, how grateful I am to be in a place to be able to help these kids realize their best potential. And also maybe the message for all of us, whether we're looking at our own kids or employees, or I don't know who it is that you're dealing with, but to look at people around you, not necessarily as they are, but as they can be. And speak life and encouragement into those people, work with them, help them, and just maybe they'll become a champion one day. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you soon.